Hey everyone, my name is Heathrow. I'm a handyman and a carpenter. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today I thought I would make a quick video on how to make a solid wooden arch. I recently just built a cedar fence for some clients, and we thought it would look really good if we added a wooden arch to the walkway. So I thought I'd make a quick video on how to build that. So if you're interested in seeing how I build a wooden arch, stay tuned and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be doing here is using a circle cutting jig on my router. This is something you can buy or you can even make yourself. So you'll determine the radius of your arch and then cut it out on a piece of plywood. So I have my template cut, and I'm going to be making this arch out of cedar. So I'm taking off the rounded corners of the cedar board so I can cut some pieces to make the arch. So I'm just laying out some pieces here with my template and going to eventually glue all these pieces together and they will make up the arch. And I've got some pieces kind of rough cut here. I want to make sure that the arch kind of covers them all. And then I traced the arch. So to glue these all together and keep them lined up, I'm using a biscuit joiner. I'm going to be joining each board to the next one. And this is probably the hardest part of making an arch, is gluing all these pieces together so that you don't have too much sanding and prep work to do afterwards. So decided to use the biscuit joiner, make things line up a little more perfectly. And I think I had 6 total pieces here in this build, or 8 total pieces rather, including this little one that goes on the end. So I decided just to glue them up, instead of trying to glue them all together at one time, glue them up into sections, and then glue up the sections together after they're done. So here's 2 sections being glued up, kind of in the same fashion. And this glue up will take some patience because you really want to make sure that the glue is nice and dry. I'm going to be using this arch outside, so I use Titebond 3, which is a waterproof glue. So to make sure that this arch is really strong, you want to make sure your glue can at least have about, I let mine dry for 24 hours in between glue ups. So now that it's all glued up, I'm going to roughly cut it out to the shape that I need. And this will get me close to my final shape. And then I'm going to be using a router and some flush trim bits to cut the final shape. Using 2 router bits for this project, one to follow the template, which has a bearing on the top side, and I'll show you that here. And you can see it's leaving a little bit of a lip there. So I go all the way around with the flush trim bit on the top. And then once I have that groove kind of cut and my radius is established, then I'll come through with the regular flush trim router bit and cut off the remainder. And once that's done, then you kind of have a perfect arch in the shape of your template. So the template is really key for making your arch turn out good. And I'm actually going to use the template again when I go to install this as well. So just giving everything a rough sanding. One tip is I use a furniture blanket here to minimize kind of the scratches and mars around the arch once I get close to finishing it. So those are really handy to use in the shop, or some furniture blankets. Keep your woodworking project really nice. And then just adding a coat of finish here to match the fence. So you can see I've got the template here. I'm going to be installing the arch under this walkway, and brought the template to the job site and going to use it to kind of trace out where my cuts need to be made to make this arch fit perfectly. So I made some pencil marks there. I'm cutting it out with the circular saw, and then I'm going to go test fit it and make sure that it fits. Looks like it fits pretty well. It kind of stood on its own. So now I'm bringing this to the actual cedar piece that I want to install and just making those marks onto that piece. Trying to find a good way to cut these out. Don't want to put too much stress on this cedar because it is a bunch of pieces glued together. Should be strong when it's in place, but definitely don't want to break it at this point. So making those cuts, and then I can go back and get it installed. And it's a pretty tight fit, but that's what I want. So there's no gap, and it's looking good. And that's about a wrap on this video on how to build a wooden arch. Hope it helped you out. I couldn't find many other resources online, so thought I would make this quick video. If it did help you out, definitely hit that like button. Lets me know that I'm putting out the correct type of content and you guys are enjoying these videos. And yeah, other than that, I will see you in my next video.